Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Dive Into Diet. I'm with the star of the show, Lucas Schmidt. What's going on, man?
Got a little sort of a follow-up to one of our other episodes.
I'm
I
excited.
think. Yeah.
I'm excited
Are you
because
excited?
if I remember correctly, we left, at least when we recorded, we left it at a bit like a low point. It was
It's alcohol. Yeah.
It was
Left
a tough
it
one.
in the dirt.
It was
pretty
tough.
much. I sat here and trash talked alcohol for
You did.
20 minutes.
I was offended. Everyone watching was probably offended.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's sad. So I decided to do a follow-up and make things.
Make things right.
Some of you are going to still leave this episode probably like, okay, yeah, whatever. But I thought it might be helpful to come up with some substitutions for alcohol. There's, I mean, just save you time up front. They don't really include alcohol. So if that's all you're looking for, I'll save you the next 10 minutes of your life. Just skip the video.
There's no healthy alcohol.
No, not really. Not chemically, at least. You know, we talked a little bit about
we
the
debunked
sort
the
of
wine thing.
I say I'm just incredibly skeptical of that.
Yeah.
The research is spotty. Okay, you could gain the benefits of the wine without having the alcohol and not have to worry about the alcohol part of it.
Right.
So it's not a moral judgment, as I've
No.
said before. It's just a chemical. I'm just talking about the chemistry of the alcohol, and that's all. But so I thought it might be nice to come up with some substitutions in quotes outside of like the non-alcoholic beer, etc., which is an obvious one, I suppose, but most people don't like that.
Yeah.
And the way I came up with this list, I have a little list down here, just so I don't forget anything. The way I came up with this list was the questions I thought was it's important to figure out, well, what are you getting from your alcohol? Not everybody who drinks alcohol is after the high or the low, I guess, that it gives you.
Yeah.
A lot of us are. It's just at the end of the day, you sip some alcohol to dull your nerves a little bit, to dull your senses a little bit so you can sort of maybe forget some stress. But that is not what everyone who drinks is after.
And I do think there's because a lot of people drink a glass of wine at night, a beer at night to kind of decompress.
Yes.
And I do think that it doesn't actually happen. You just think it's happening.
Yeah, well, and it's not, and even the decompressed sensation is not always, you're not always trying to be buzzed to get the...
Right.
So this is that's one of I decided to think, okay, what are things that give us a pleasant sensation that could be calming or maybe a little, I guess, thrilling. It depends on what you're going for with the alcohol because people drink for various reasons.
Yep.
So let me just go start with the list.
Let's do it.
So the first one sort of fits the texture and because a lot of people just like that taste, that there's a ritual to the sensation to have something to sip. So something that's very close is kombucha. Have you heard of kombucha? It's a fermented beverage.
Can I ask you about that?
Yes.
Because I try to increase the number of days per week where I'm not drinking anything, not even like a glass of wine or a beer. And the kombucha does have like a tad bit of alcohol content. Does that bother you?
Okay. So I'm glad you asked that.
Yeah.
It does contain a trace amount because it is fermented.
Right.
It's legal for anyone to drink it.
Right. I could drink it in my car.
Children can drink it. You can drive and drink kombucha. So it's not enough to apparently, inhibit any of your functions like alcohol. Having said that, there are probably even better options if you want to 100% avoid alcohol. This is like a 98 to 99% avoidance of alcohol. Kombucha doesn't have very much.
Well, for sure it has less than 0.5%.
Yeah, it's
super
a teeny
low.
amount. But it will give you that. There's a fizziness to it. There's a little bit of a that bite, that bitterness, that sour sort of bite that we get from alcohol. It comes in a variety of flavors. Now, you want to be mindful of a lot of sugar. Sometimes they're highly sweetened. There's some that aren't, though.
It still tastes good?
Yeah, you just have to trial and error it. There's a lot of brands out there. I hesitate to even recommend one. There's a ton of kombucha brands. It's if you get traditional kombucha and maybe it has a little fruit in it, it's generally very low sugar, so it's a healthier. But it's going to give you, what is it going to give you as a substitute? It's going to give typically the sensation of drinking, how it feels in your mouth, and that sort of tang that you get from alcohol. That's what you're going to get from the kombucha. less of the euphoric pleasantness of it.
Right.
It's more of just the consumption of the drink.
Yep.
Next would be if you're after a more pleasant, calming sensation from your alcohol, you could just simply have water or carbonated water, whatever beverage aside from alcohol, and mix some GABA into it. So you can buy GABA, which is gamma aminobutyric acid. I've mentioned in other podcasts. Neurotransmitter support.
Powder form?
You can buy it in powder form. It's the cheapest way to get it. They sell it in pill form, but again, we're after the ritual of whatever.
We want to get it from a beverage.
Right. So you can go on Amazon. There's a brand called Bulk Supplements. They sell in bulk. Shocker. And it comes in a bag. It's like $20, and there's like a year supply. It's an enormous amount.
Is this kind of the equivalent of magnesium, GABA?
GABA
from a like calming.
It's stronger, I would say, than magnesium. Magnesium, if you drink a ton of magnesium or take a lot, you will feel it, but you won't really notice the sensation with magnesium, except for maybe not cramping or you have to go to the bathroom. Right. GABA, in about 15 to 30 minutes, you'll feel. If you take a good-sized dose of it, you'll actually feel it.
So if somebody is watching this...
I'm not recommending you overdose on GABA. So you want to follow the measurements. I have taken... the measurement size is on the bag. It's usually, I think it's a third of a teaspoon. So it's not small. A lot.
Okay.
You could... I've put a whole teaspoon in before, if not a little bit more than that. If you take too much, you'll simply have a hot flash for about 2 minutes. It's very quick. And you'll get a flush, like a skin, like a slight itch. It's kind of pleasant, though, oddly enough. I think it's pleasant. But GABA will give you a sense of, the best way I can describe the sensation when GABA kicks in is after you take a deep sigh. There's like a split second if you do that right now. There's like a little sensation of a settling in your chest. It's that, but perpetually for about 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. It's a very nice feeling. So you could try that if you're after that. Let's come down off the day. GABA competes with glutamate in your brain for absorption or binding to neurotransmitters. I'm probably butchering the psychiatry, the chemical aspect of it. But essentially, a psychiatrist described it to me as a police officer at a four-way stop in your brain. GABA. Your brain makes it.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Anyway, it helps us to slow down a little bit. That's what it's for. Keeps us from going crazy. So you can take supplementary GABA. The powder form virtually has no taste and dissolves almost instantly in water.
Okay.
So you don't have to disguise it with anything. You could mix it. You could mix it in water.
LaCroix.
Yes, you can mix it in any of that.
Yeah.
So that's a fun one. The next one is the plant version of GABA, which is L-theanine. And the natural way to get that is to have a small glass or cup of warm matcha green tea.
Okay.
Matcha is ground green tea. Now, matcha is a stimulant, so it has caffeine in it. So you're not going to get the sleepy vibe that you can get from alcohol from it. It's better to do this earlier in the day. You can drink before noon. Matcha, that is. But it will still give you a calm alertness, which is nice. So matcha green teas. And it's also ritualistic. It's a powder. You mix it in the warm water. You can sit there and sip on it. It's earthy, if I had to describe the flavor of plain matcha. And no, a matcha latte from Starbucks with sugar and all this crap added to it does not count. They might use real matcha. I don't want to bash Starbucks. It's fine. But I'm talking about healthy substitutions for alcohol. So, the last one is not a beverage at all, but it will. I was trying to think. The few times I've ever had alcohol, you get like some people feel it up here, some people feel it everywhere.
Right.
A calmness happens after brief cold exposure. So, you want to get a little bit of I don't want to say high like a drug high, but similar. Like a At the end of your shower for 10 seconds, turn it to freezing cold. Freezing cold. Get in it. Get your face in it. I wouldn't start with the face. Let it hit your body. And then get your face in it. Your brain will respond. You'll have a rush.
Only 10 seconds?
Yeah, about 10. That initial shock is really what causes that. Breathe very deeply while you're doing this, by the way, to keep calm. But you will get a brief little high from that, believe it or not. Take nice, don't hyperventilate standing in the shower, though. Just deep, slow breaths, control it. And if you want to explore that further beyond the shallow, what I just gave you, the 10 seconds, right? It will elicit a nice response. And you'll find when you turn the water off, you've been in hot water for a long time in the shower and then now suddenly cold, you turn the water off, you're not shivering when you're drying off, and there's a euphoria that occurs with that. Your body responds very well to that. It's also good for your hair follicles, I believe, and your pores to get them cool again. But you want to explore the cold exposure and that pleasantness further, I can recommend you look up Wim Hof.
Yep.
It's pronounced Vim, but Wim is what it looks like, W-I-M. Look him up on YouTube. He's kind of crazy, but in a cool way.
Yeah, I agree.
But he's all into the exploration. But if you don't want to do that work, 10 seconds of like quick cold exposure in your shower will give you a nice calm. And it won't like keep you from falling asleep. It's not like your body to respond to that stress will calm you down just a little bit. So
I love it.
Those are my recommendations.
Those are super cool. And honestly, like I love the direction you went. I was expecting non-alcoholic wine, non-alcoholic beer, but we went substitutions.
Yeah.
With the same kind of feeling.
Yeah, just chasing you just pick the thing that you're after.
And I will say routine's so big with alcohol. It's like such a routine. It's like coffee in the morning.
Yeah, which is why it can be a problem.
Right.
If it gets wrapped in your routine, it becomes slightly a dependency, which we don't want.
We don't want that. Lucas, great job, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, thank y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with us on Dive Into Diet. As always, we will see you guys next time.
Don't go away.